Where can you find value? I think I can find value in helping people find value for themselves. Ha, ha, ha. Who is the real metaverse man? Who? It is me. I am Robot. No, I married Robot. I married her. Her name is Ot. Anyways, how do you solve problems? Oh, that's the key to the solution. You have problems to the solution. And yes, that was my thought process. I think my value can be in helping people be creative to solve problems that they find and have a process that can be a problem-solving process. So I think that I can help people realize the steps to do it on their own and invest in themselves, pulling from the resources I've got, such as my process needs to be sifting out the people willing to take the risk of being at the lowest risk possible for themselves, which is entrepreneurship and being a business owner for themselves, because that kind of creates the sole purpose. This is coming from the Wealth Factory. I think what I need to do is build up a process, steps, work through it. I'm doing it with myself, obviously, because I've got a business. And so how can I learn to write out my processes where they're lean and efficient so that I can then turn around and help other people start in any category, any business? Because if you define the constraints of how much value you want to add to the world, all right, there's 8 billion people. I need to fact check that. There might be more. When I was in high school, there were 7 billion and people. There could be. I'm not getting on the highway. That creates value. Is looking at traffic ahead of the game, being planned and prepared, and I saw that coming back. But anyways, coming back to finding what is essential to human life: breath, water, food, shelter, clothing, right? Those things are never going away. And then entertainment, never going away. Storytelling, never going away, because that's natural progression. And so can you solve a problem in those categories? One of them is the Tower of Babel, of people being miscommunicated, and that's why Google does a good job with Translate. That's why, it's solving that problem. Problem 2 is sin. Everybody has sin, so that's a solution that people can come with, and that's the ministry side. But yeah, finding the process with the solutions to get people to write out their processes so that they can be planned and prepared for the action and take action, and what does that action look like, and how easy can it be, and that's, I feel like that it sounds very meta, and it sounds like you can't really, where's the actual principal steps, where's the actual steps to you doing, how can you give me the example to your principle guided processes? Well, I did with lean processes, which means you have to know the weeds, you have to know the details in order to gain your insight to your problem. What's your problem? I can't do this. It stops this way, right? So how can you run through the problem solving? How can you define the problem? And then how can you come up with creative solutions? Because what is your solution? It has to have a time constraint. Is there the masses that deal on it? Is it just that your computer is done? Just call the right expert. So there's always an expert to the field, because unless you need to become the expert, which is rare. So that's the novelty in the story. I think the ability I can bring to the table, I don't know if it'll look like it, but it'll probably be oh, you're just a entrepreneur who says use the website, use web e-commerce stores to promote your business. Well, duh, because that's what you're watching this on your phone anyways, you're recording this on your phone anyways. The whole point is this is where the world's going. They're going to stay in their huts, and they need people to drive to their huts, right? So but that's a bold claim on where the world's going. If technology companies want to rule, which they do, they're going to want you to be on they're a business. They want you on their stuff 24/7 so they can feed what they are, advertisement, which they think based on your studies, your practices, your performances, your data, and just to use your behavior, that they believe that they can add value, because a company who believes they can add value has filled that slot. So the whole point is they want you on the company, and so they're doing a good job, because 3.5 billion people are playing like video games, and 600 million people are playing Minecraft, at the time of the recording. There's gonna be more, there's gonna be less, right? Like at one point in time, obviously. So they want you on their thing so they can feed you. This is just a model that is being there, right? Or else they want you to buy it, but it looks like they want like the most value for a technology company. It's the Google value. Amazon's value is and structure is do this for that person. Amazon's structure is getting you a product, which they're going to be ahead of the logistics game. They're the head of the logistics game, because they realize that more people are at home, and they're more willing to just say, yeah, if you can bring that to me in a day, I don't need to go to Walmart, right? And so Walmart's following suit. Walmart might be ahead of Amazon, but behind Amazon, because they may have started too late. So we'll see. But it's really hard to defeat that. But I think they'll be going at it for a while, and I don't know if it's a defeat or it's just like one misstep. Like in a game of chess and a game of baseball, it's like a perfection game. Like it really causes one move to be wrong, and how you get that is turnover of ideas. And so it's whoever can effectively communicate their ideas to their predecessors will win that game. And that'll be interesting, but we might not be around for it. Maybe. Old enough, older. And so the whole point of it is people are going to want to like stick to their. Because if they can go to Maui by hopping in a headset, then they're going to go to Maui hopping in a headset. But that Maui has to look like Maui. It's got to feel like Maui. It's got to taste like Maui. So it's got, you got to bring that experience to them. So, but Maui will always have to exist in order for that to happen, right? And so eventually, it's like Ready Player One, right? So people will be diving into, and that's what they're doing already. And it doesn't even have to be that pretty, right? So they're diving into their virtual worlds, their metaverses, and that's where they're finding what they're looking for in this world at an easier rate. So the whole point is it's going to be like people staying in places, but there will be a select amount of people that will have to carry things to each other. So the road systems are going to have to be there. So it's just going to be more of an efficient thing, and you might get just more people wanting apartments and living in apartments or something. But it'll be interesting, because that's like 80 years down the road, and I don't think I need to worry about that, because I only get 70 more years here. So it's just figuring out how I can do my best to write these processes to get problems and solutions. I think that's kind of a strength of mine, is coming up, being resourceful and creative, and then documenting it. So that's the area I need to be better at, is documenting it. That's why I'm doing this now. So documentation used to be on the forefront of writing, and I think it will be for a while. Forever, right? Like you need to write it, you need to type it or write it, or you need to voice type it, right? It needs to be in written words, because that's kind of just been through the dawn of time, of like what has transcended time is markings on a page, symbolic markings on a page. And because an American in 300 years listening to this be like, your sentence structure is very interesting, and it doesn't make sense. So it's kind of like, oh, we need an old English person to talk about it. So that's what's happened. So it's always adaptive, it's always moving, but they will know that Christ is still Lord, and that's the coolest thing. So problem to your solution, I think that's my not destiny, I think that's my plan. My destiny is death, and so the only fate that came through was that Jesus Christ came. So not living in that new age stuff, but not living in that new age, because Jesus is Lord, and that's the moral of the story, is your fate was death, and someone decided to replace that, and that someone was a very important person, the most important person, the King of all kings, the Lord of all lords, God himself coming down to save you. So the whole point is, how can we solve problems in a creative way? How can we set the system to solve problems? Because the Lord is the Lord of systems. Like, think about it, like death to life, right? Like the Lord of systems. He's established this world spinning, the solar system, he's designed every part of your body. That there's systems in my eye, there's systems in my cells, there's systems everywhere that have brought me to come to this point, to try my best to to write this system for the Lord, and just to say, hey, look, Lord, is this work, right? Like, which is really cool. So I mean, we're just on a huge mountain, and I'm grateful that where I am, and it's going to be fun to take it to the next level. So peace, blessings, Jehovah Jireh. The Lord loves you. I mean, that's the Lord provides. No, but the Lord loves you.